Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Let me know if the music is too loud. I can definitely adjust it here a little bit. All right, nice to see that we got about, oh wow, we almost got 400 people. Oh, 300 people. Misread the number. Almost 300 people in the middle of the day, afternoon stream. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, get some of you in the EU in different parts of the world who can't usually make it to the live stream. How are you all doing today? Tone lock, I'm glad. It seems like perfect time, and I'm glad to be here today, guys. Oh, you can't hear the music. Well, anyways, I'm gonna probably just keep it off because I don't want to mess up any connection issues at the moment. Just want to make sure we got a smooth stream here until I get finally plugged into Ethernet. Where I'm recording and stuff, we don't have an Ethernet port, so it does just stink. I'm too far away from the router. But anyways, nice to have you guys here on the stream. It's going to be a relatively casual day. Obviously, crypto markets over the past few hours took a tad bit of a dive, nothing too dramatic that we haven't seen before. Bitcoin's currently testing some really key levels around the 50 and 100 day, which we had maintained support on a few days ago. Seems like we hit a little bit of resistance on the line we've been talking about. Again, we talked about this being a possibility. We're still relatively neutral on price until we get a breach above that line of resistance. And really, I think I'm only going to be confirmed bullish until we get above a close above the 200 day. So anyways, now we got about 400 of you in here, guys. We'll go ahead and dive into some questions here in just a minute. I want to spend some time to kind of do what I would do normally in a daily update, seeing as we won't be able to do one today specifically, and there's nothing crazy really going on. So I mean, outside of the slight dip we got in price here over the past few hours, but really in regards to news, nothing too big. Just been doing some reading, catching up. I'm working on making a video of a few books that I want to share with you guys. I'm hoping to kind of give you guys a little bit of answer to the question of what books I've read over the past few years. Some of you want books just generally of what I find interesting. So I'm going to start off with doing a top 3 books video, and then probably every month or every other month, I'll do a video talking about top 3 books for trading or fundamental investing or, understanding monetary policy. It'll get more specific, but seeing as you guys have been asking for book recommendations, I thought I might as well do that. Hey guys, thank you for the kind comments. I appreciate all the positive messages here. Glad to see we almost got 500 in the middle of the day. I thought we'd have like 200 or 300, but if you guys can, go ahead and give a like on the video. I appreciate it. Glad that you guys could tune in here. So I want to spend some time to talk about Bitcoin at the moment. Now, it's not good in the short term to see this breaking below the 200 hours. This for me is a sentiment indicator that we've probably, especially when we've had a nice multi-day or multi-week rally in Bitcoin in this down market, that usually means that we have more downside to go. But before I jump to those conclusions off of one indicator, I'm going to let you all know how I'm really trading this, or at least kind of managing my alt positions at the moment. Because to be fair, I'm quite exposed to altcoins, and I'm pretty confident that we've seen the worst. That's why I've been stacking up at these these really low Bitcoin comparators for altcoins. The fact of the matter is, though, is I'm not extremely bullish just yet. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen if Bitcoin will hold here on the 100-day. Now, if you're curious, the 100-day is the orange line on my chart. The 50-day is the green moving average here. So I'm going to see whether or not we hold on this. It seems like we're revisiting the lows for the day, and in this case, you're going to want to continue to see this flatten out, get buyers coming around this even level around $6,950. You want to continue to see buyers come in, let this swoop down, and hopefully start moving up. And over the next day or two, really confirm, hopefully, not only the 100-day but 50-day as support, and show that, no, this isn't coming back down. We can't confirm that, though, yet. So we have to see this hold on the 100-day. So it's probably going to take, again, we'll notice over the next 24 or 48 hours if that's going to happen. Again, last time we broke below the 100-day, but what you need to see is a ride along here and no serious dip. You could see how it turned the 100-day from support here. You could see for a good 48-hour period, you could see it start to turn into resistance here. As you can see the kind of candles riding up alongside the moving average there. So anyways, that's it generally for the side of TA. There's nothing specific in regards to altcoins that I'm really noticing. I think most of them are kind of on the same general trajectory or trend. We can take a look at those later on in the live stream. Glad to see more of you guys are coming into the live stream. I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and answer some questions here. We got people from Zimbabwe, the Dominican Republic. We got a global community. I love it, guys. It's too cool. And supposedly people have been asking me why this drop happened. Supposedly Goldman Sachs came out and stated that they're not pursuing their trading desk for crypto just yet. And I don't think that's really something extremely bearish, but at the same time, it's not good news, right? It seems like in this market, the only thing that comes into price is bad news, and that's what tends to happen in a bear market. And we got David from Nigeria. This is absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Let's see here. Late night in Australia. Yes, Julian. Cammy, not a problem, my friend. Let's see here. Oh, is the connection coming through bad, guys? I apologize. Let me go ahead over here to CoinMarketCap. And also, let me go ahead and swap out of some tabs here that I don't need. Close down some things that I don't really need to have open. Might help the connection here in just a moment. I've got a lot of tabs open because I have my Amazon book video window like ready with all the different tabs, but I will go ahead through this later on. Is the internet going down just like crypto? Yes, it's the Bogdanoff brothers. I can say I've met them in person. I'm just kidding. But, Stretcher monkey. Come on, Nick. I've got shit to do. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I try to do them at night when you guys are not working, but I'll keep it safe for work. Let's at least, if I'm gonna waste your time, I'm gonna do it properly. So I apologize for saying that word I just said a minute ago. I'll keep my language monitored. Diamond and Soros are hacking the live stream. It was so funny. We had someone leave a comment the other day pretending to be George Soros, and I responded like pretending it was actually Soros and stuff. It was really funny. I love comments like that. Let's see here, guys. I'm sorry if the connection's not coming through good. No, it seems like it's feeding through good right now, but I'll keep an eye. I'll monitor it a little bit. But all right, let's go ahead and answer through some of these questions. Let's see. Eddie XLM. I don't know about that. We'll see. Yeah, BG Crypto Network. The book's video will be coming out soon. It's going to be a lot about kind of the financial system, banking, things that you guys know I'm really passionate about. My kind of original stem of, I would say, not so much just specifically knowledge, but my specific passions kind of derive from. Is the stream down, guys, or can you guys give a comment just updating me? It seems like on OBS everything's running fine. Is there like a video? Is it a blank screen? Can you guys hear me good on the audio? I apologize. It might be something on YouTube's end. All right, let's see here, guys. I apologize. Someone asked for 3 clicks. All right, awesome. It's all good now, guys. Cool. I'm sorry for that little brief breakup there. Ah, man, I swear. It's sad because we have a great internet like at this house, but the thing about it is... Okay, good to see. Thank you guys very much. All the messages are like flooding in now for like the past few minutes. This is very good. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, yeah, so I'm just very far away from the router. That's why my signal's probably not the best, but hoping to fix that in the future when I end up moving. I'm still looking at moving here in the next few months. It really depends on what goes on in regards to what I'm doing with YouTube, and then also some other things in life, but just trying to figure out everything at the moment. All right, so let's get back in the swing of things here, guys. That damn snapping makes me think I got BitMEX fills. Oh, God. Yeah, it's funny. I've visited the site for BitMEX. I've never traded. I've traded a little bit of one Fox, but for me, guys, I can tell you I don't like margin trading that much. You need to know how to use margin properly if you're going to use margin trading. It's better to use like 2 or 3 leverage. If you want to, for example, like hedge yourself, for example, if you want to play against the odds of your original positions, or you want to just protect yourself and be diversified, I think you can use leverage on BitMEX or these other exchanges for hedging positions. I wouldn't do anything large, but anywhere from like 2 to 3x leverage. And if you're really pushing it, like maybe for a short-term trade and you're not playing with too much money, 5 to 10 would be all right with me. But again, you need to have tight levels, and you need to be relatively confident on your trades. I usually would never touch that kind of leverage. Let's see. I've seen people saying it's bumping, it's going to the bottom again. Let's see where we're at. Nope, still unchanged. Yeah. See, we're just riding along this base, guys. We could break it, but it seems like every time buyers are coming in around 69.50. Let's go here. Check what you guys are talking about in the chat. Contract K, hello there. Thank you very much for the heart. I appreciate it. Ryan Mendez, no, this is not a Trevon James live stream. I'm thankfully I'm not dealing with the SEC, but then again, I didn't promote BitConnect, so. T.Tim, I like that. The reason to use BitMEX is to trade against the Cowboys who 25x or 100x. That's whose money I'm there to take. That's a good point. I mean, that's the thing is there's 2 people who are going to win off of people like that. It's not the people themselves trading that with that kind of leverage. You're going to be the winner, and as always, you're going to have Arthur Hayes and the rest of BitMEX win. The house always wins. All right, let's see here. Aria, what price do I want to buy Nano at? Well, it depends. You might be curious about the Bitcoin comparative, because that's what I tend to watch. I think if we do break below the 100-day for Bitcoin, and we do retest the lows, I'm not touching Nano until we get back towards the 3,000 Satoshi range right here around the 50-day. But I'm going to watch and see how it holds on the 50-day, the 100-day moving average, the orange line here. Volume, what I really like, this is a really good sign, guys, when you see uptrends, and especially after something so dramatic. You would think that after a rally from around, let's do the USD valuation here, just to put some perspective. You would think that a rally from a bottom of around 77 cents to $3.84 would lead like all the investors who bought down here to just absolutely dump and sell, and you would have a massive sell side to the, usually you see that in crypto. You see a massive drive up to the upside and it drops. Not always a pump and dump, but it's just that people, prices go up very quick and then they drop quite quickly. The casino is a quick entry and quick exit. But in this case, you can see how volume rose very nicely, and you got some really steady volume, some double-digit $1 million volume here. And as much as I've exited my Nano position, and I'm looking for lower levels here, I'm looking for around $2, which would be around 3,000 Satoshis on the Bitcoin comparative. At the same time, I really like what I'm seeing here. You have nowhere near the sell side volume that we saw on the buy side over here. And in fact, it's quite steady, especially with these kind of price gains. So it shows that it's right now trying to build a base for higher levels of support. We just exited out of a bottom over here at around 74 cents. If we can hold around $2, that solidifies a very good chunk of those gains, really, and it brings us back into a sense of reality. Not to mention just what we've seen right now, down from a little bit under $4 to $2 and around 68 cents. That's a great correction, but I still think it has a little bit of a ways to go. But I'm not going to miss out. I think Nano's, this price movement, as drastic as it might seem to like a trader, and if we were to take off the moving averages, I mean, it seems really big. I think this is one of the next big cryptocurrencies that could see not only $5, $10, $20. I think if we hit an altcoin cycle, it's going to go very, very high. But it's because I fundamentally like DAGs. You guys got to know I have a little bit of a bias because I love the technology. But outside of that as well, it's showing me the exact same historical thing that I find with many cryptocurrencies. Now, this chart isn't going to do it justice because it got listed on Binance later, and we obviously had the BitGrail incident, which I don't think I'll be able to access BitGrail's API off of TradingView. But if you take a look at the USD, it was if you take a look back at Litecoin and Bitcoin and so many other cryptocurrencies, they started off at around $1 to $5 value, $1 to $5 per coin. They had rallies to around $30, $40 in the early days, came back down. Litecoin had the exact same thing where it pretty much came down to $1 range and then inevitably had a $5 to $10 rally, not as big as the previous one, and eventually went on during an altcoin cycle to reach hundreds of dollars. So are we going to see that with Nano? I don't know. It has a slightly larger supply, about double that of Litecoin, so we have to factor that in. Real quick, we got a donation from FreedomFly. Thank you very much, FreedomFly. Could you make a video about Viacoin? I'll look into it. I've heard about Viacoin, but haven't spent the time to actually research it. So until I do that, I won't be able to make a video on it. But I'll consider it. I appreciate it, FreedomFly. Much appreciated. All right, so going on here, back to what we were talking about, guys. The main point here is that I would much rather play the macro cycle on this, but as we're towards the bottom here and things are quite volatile, I'd love to increase my position. So that's why I'm waiting for a little bit of a correction here, because if I, for example, I sold my position, as I told you, all around, I want to make sure I get my Satoshi measurement right. I think it was like 42 to 4,300 Satoshis, so not exactly at the top, but generally around this range, around $3 per nano. And I averaged down here, and I added to my position, making this actual profitable trade, even though I made my first edition like back here. So it was really good. But I'm going to wait until this collapses down below $3, down towards around 2, because that'll give me 50% more nano, generally speaking. I don't know if it's going to go all the way down there, and I won't just simply wait for exactly $2. I might add a little bit early, but it at least bumps up my position in nano before we get the longer term trend. But it's going to be very infrequent for me to trade nano like that, because I want to hold it for the longer term run ups. I think it's got a lot more ways to go. All right, enough shilling on nano. Let's go ahead here. Hi, Nicholas. Good to see you online. Learned about you from my man Rude, working with Unibright now. Yes, Rude's an awesome guy. He's also one of the individuals helping out with marketing and branding for Unibright. For those of you who have been asking as well, the big reason I don't not so much compliment, the reason I don't talk or produce commentary talking about Unibright too much is I don't want to be a shill, guys. I think everyone got very, very off-put and thought that I was a huge shill for Sub because I really like Sub. No, I really like these projects. The thing about those, again, as much as people want me to shill their project and talk about their stuff, I want to be genuine. I want to be real with you guys. And as much as I like some projects, I'll mention it from time to time, but I'm only going to mention the big pieces of news and kind of really fundamentally drill in and see this is why I like the project. So I'm not going to, again, push things on you guys. I never want to do that to you. It's the reason why I don't do ICO reviews. It's the reason I haven't covered a coin or cryptocurrency since, I think, Unibright, and then before that it had been Nano, like this cryptocurrency, when it was back in early December. But yeah, I haven't really talked about any cryptocurrency projects, even though there's a ton of ICOs that are like feasting for coverage right now. Hey, Monopoly Money, how you doing, man? Thank you very much for the donation. What are your thoughts on Substratum and their plan to launch a truly decentralized exchange with a new coin? I'm very interested to hear your opinion. So a lot of people, after the event, I was very blown away. I actually went up to Sub's office. Again, one of the few offices that's actually invited me to go see where they're working and meet their team, and I love it every time I go up there. But they launched their product 3, and this is something that people have asked me to comment on, and that's the new exchange that they launched, Amplify. There's not too much I can say on it from like kind of what I've analyzed. I'll give you my opinion though, and again, it's just my opinion. You can take it as it is. A lot of people had a lot of concerns that they're launching a new token for Amplify, right? They're doing another ICO for a separate exchange, and many people said, why don't you just use the Substratum token? Well, from what I know, working with exchanges, guys, you have to give them a little bit of leg room and be fair with them. The biggest expense that a lot of these exchange ICOs go through, now, for example, if you're just launching a project for some ICO that doesn't require any legal approval, and you are raising 30 or 40 million dollars, that's ridiculous. If you're actually trying to build an exchange and you need to get registered to list securities, and you need to be registered to make sure that you can get the banking partnerships that you need, a lot of the kind of financial and regulatory expenses that come with an exchange, these things cost a lot of money. It can be upwards of millions of dollars to do stuff like this, just to simply get registered to list potentially securities and other assets. So it makes sense that even though I think the sub team is quite well positioned, they talked in Sublock, for example, about how they're well positioned with the Ethereum that they raised in the initial ICO, as well as some of the sub tokens they hold to fund development of Substratum. This exchange is something entirely different. So I don't want to ramble on about it too much, but I hope that answers your question, Monopoly Money. I can tell you from the advisory work that I've done and the consulting I've worked with in regards to projects, and just getting to talk with people who had some really up-end projects and exchanges, there's a lot of unfactored expenses that I think people don't realize when it comes to this stuff. And again, people are gonna have their opinions on it. Some will say, "Oh, you should have used the sub token." Yeah, maybe they could have, but I think they want to make sure that they're not going to end up halfway through development really killing things, and then we don't have enough money, and then say, "Okay, then we're going to add this new token." That would really tick people off. So I think they're starting smart from the beginning. Hope that answered your question. Let's see here real quick. We got a donation from Todd Mullis. Thank you very much, Todd. Please, USD instead of Satoshis. Crashed car calculating. I mean, I use the USD a decent amount, guys, but the reason why is you want to comparatively beat out Bitcoin. That's what traders are doing. Now, USD is important for the macro swings. So, for example, like on Litecoin, let me go ahead here to take a look at the USD chart. We can see that the USD tells us a really great story here. It's holding a base here right before the parabolic price action. We've closed out of that, and now we might be looking for a higher swing on Litecoin. This might be building a good long-term base here. But again, I use it for more macro trends rather than, for example, shorter-term trends. The one I just did for Nano, that's usually an exception. But I will definitely try to stick to USD when I can. Stephen Day, you spilled sub because you were paid, not because you liked it, so stop saying you're being real. Stephen, I like to think that I am real because I got offers last year of and I'll be fair with you guys, to do reviews for cryptocurrency projects. And the amount of sub that I had gotten at that time was around like $3,000, right? If you actually took it at ICO value. And at the time I was getting offers upwards of $40,000 or $50,000. That's how much projects were really willing to pay. And I don't mind sharing it because, to be fair, there's some YouTubers who take that kind of money and there's some YouTubers who do those kind of things. It's not my business. You don't see me shilling projects. And that's why I came forward to talk to you guys about it. Like, that's not my kind of style. But again, you can think of me as you want, guys. You can go off what you can see and everything. I think the project's great. I liked it because I like the concept. What better project in the kind of enterprise utility space than a free, censorship-resistant internet? That's literally what blockchain's all about. So outside of money, I don't see many applications, but I definitely see the value case for it, and they're one of the few teams that has actually delivered. But anyways, let's go ahead here. Rolex, thank you very much for the donation. What do you think about VeChain, TRX, and ADA? What coin will you buy if you had to choose one? Rolex, again, this isn't financial advice. I always state this because I understand you guys want to probably get another opinion on this. VeChain has done very well in the short term, but I think it needs to cool back a tad bit. TRX is a momentum player, but we are not in a full swing altcoin cycle just yet. ADA, Cardano, has not had a rebound off of its lows that it's been holding for like the past 2 weeks. I've been eyeing it very steadily, haven't made any trades on it, but we can see here that, actually today a tad bit down, so I will actually point that out. But you can see here, we're still generally holding along, so long as we hold around 12 to 1400 Satoshis, we're holding along the previous resistance and possibly might make it support. So again, Cardano, out of most of the larger protocols, has seen quite a drastic reduction. So do with it as you will. I would say ADA is my favorite out of the three, but again, it's not a confirm on buying or that you're going to make a profit in any regard. Daniel, I'd like to read your comment, but it's quite mistyped. ICASO instead of ICS. I appreciate the positive comments, guys. Let's see here. Oh, that's the sound. UK PS4 player just subscribed. Thank you very much, UK PS4 player. So you play the PS4 in the United Kingdom. Nice. I've never been a PlayStation guy personally. I've always been Xbox, but we will live in peace, my friend. Alansky, I like that question. Hey, Nick, do you still have uranium fever? Yes, I still do. I was actually, well, this is actually important here. We want to see this hold on the longer term wedge here. But to answer your question, yes, I still have uranium fever. In fact, I've got commodity fever, generally speaking. The fact of the matter is right now, guys, is that if we, again, go back to that chart I've shown you guys have probably seen it. It's a comparison of commodities to the S&P 500, so it balances commodities and equities. And right now, we have not seen commodities this cheap comparative to equities since 1970. Almost 50-year cycle, guys. We have not seen commodities this cheap. So it doesn't mean that commodities, I think it's like it used to, at the peaks, it'll usually be at an 8 times ratio to equities. But right now it's at a 1-to-1. That doesn't mean that commodities are going to multiply by 8 times in general. It means that comparative to equities, we could possibly get a bump up to the upside like that over the next few years and have a longer term macro cycle where commodities outperform equities. I think you can get that in a bear market of equities, and that's probably going to be around the corner in the next few months to a year. We don't know exactly when, but again, we've got a little bit of a spike in the VIX today, and stocks have actually ticked down a little bit. But anyways, here, let me go ahead. Daniel, I would like to actually answer this question, guys, because again, I'm very open to criticism. Daniel says, basically, I was saying that I'm pretty sure you have a bunch of videos on your YouTube channel that you get paid for on ICOs and altcoin projects that you didn't disclose, which is really sad. No, Daniel, I would say the only events were the ones that I listed, which was one bounty reward program, which was under Syndicator. I talked about that in the video that most people know is the sub video, because they blew it out of proportion when it came to the substratum aspect. I was already going to cover the project itself, but I happened to get some after I covered the video, or sorry, when I covered the project throughout the video, and that blew up in valuation because, oh, lo and behold, I picked a really good project. Like, I try to show you guys really good projects for people who invest in the ICO. When I first talked about it, which again, I just did out of free will, it went 100x up at the peak, and everyone used that valuation when they talked about it. Oh, Nick got paid $300,000. No, I didn't. And it's still sitting in the wallet. It's much less than that now. I got it when it was at about a value of 3,000. Syndicator, I think that was around 3,000 as a bounty reward because I had made a video about it. Like, that was it. Like, so again, just being completely transparent with you guys, I would have mentioned it back in December, and you can see on my channel I haven't covered projects since then. So, you know, want to be fair with you guys. I know that's a concern, guys. There's a lot of YouTubers out there. There's the Ian Bellinas of the world. There's a lot of guys out there who do not have good intentions for this space. They want to make a quick buck, and they don't really care about cryptocurrencies. I've seen it. That's why I've been talking to you guys about the dark side of ICOs at the moment, what's going on with the exchanges. I've got a really cool podcast coming up where I had a guy who's he's working with a project called Celsius Network. His name's Alex Majinski. He created voice over internet protocol, or at least helped in creating it. He's a Ukrainian immigrant, really cool guy. But anyways, made his self-fortune. We were talking about what's going on in like exchanges like Binance and everything. So I'm really excited to get that uploaded and everything. We're just getting the whole podcast edited, and we'll have that up in the next few days or possibly the next week. But anyways, so just letting you all know, more than anything, I've got your intentions at heart, guys. I really do care about you. That's hopefully why we have about 1,000 of you on the live stream, and hopefully then we can continue to grow the community. Grimeo, yes, I have a pretty, I don't want to start any drama, but I don't really like Ian Bellina personally. I don't like what he does because I know a lot of things that probably most don't. Things get spread in the crypto space quite easily, and there's pretty decent evidence, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to accuse him of anything. Let's see here. Darren, I appreciate that. Thank you guys for the kind compliments. I hope that answers any concerns, guys, because you should be worried about that stuff. There's people in this world who really don't care about fundamentals, and they don't care about this space. That's why, and I hope to let you all know that in my last video, if you guys watched the last daily update, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But we did a big segment on emerging markets, and I've really decided that I want to go visit some of these countries that are experiencing currency crises and actually get boots on the ground coverage of how some of them are using crypto. G Concepts, thank you very much for the donation. Would love to hear your thoughts on Icon or ICX. Do you still consider this project a long-term hold? G Concepts, yes. I would say, I don't want to. In saying yes to that, I'm still keeping up with Icon as a long-term hold. I've got to catch up with the project. I know there's some people in the space, some of the YouTubers out there who are much more actively on top of Icon. I like the project personally. I was very excited about the loop and the kind of partnerships and the foundation they built with the Korean government. Again, Icon, because of that, has a very strong foundation. The concept itself as well, and some of the real applications they already had built got me really excited. But I've actually got to catch up with Min Kim and a lot of the other people at Icon and just see what they're doing, and also just contact with people who are much more engaged with the project specifically. I'm sticking more to like peer-to-peer digital currencies. I've kind of gotten away from the protocols for a little while, but anyways, Icon itself, still one of my probably top 10, 15 protocols. There's just a lot in the market at the moment. Junie, Ian Bellina is a bacteria in the crypto space. Look, guys, you're not going to be seeing a Moon Lambo rap video on my YouTube channel. I'll say that to put it lightly, because that probably makes us look like the. There's no words that can describe it. It makes us look so immature. It makes it look like we're just here to get rich quick and don't care about the space. And again, speculating's fun. You guys know I love looking at markets, but I also love trying to leave an impact and a change, and I understand what this technology is really about to a decent degree. So yeah, anyways, yeah, the customer, I agree. I think Node when Node releases the or Substratum Node releases the earnings mechanism, that's going to be huge. Anna, YouTube channel, thank you very much. I appreciate the donation. PHP is the Filipino peso, is that right? I want to make sure I get that symbol right, because we have a lot of people from the Philippines. Yep, Filipino peso. Yeah, that's we have a lot of people from Southeast Asia. Those are the real users of crypto, and the people who it matters to most, I think, as well as in South America and a lot of African nations. Kind of GZA, don't worry, bro. Some people are just not equipped to judge someone's character. The world has become a selfish place where only time, where I think every time someone says something informative, it's assumed for their own benefit. Yeah, that's the thing. I get it. I get why people are skeptical about this space. Like, right? Like, I mean, I have all you guys here right now. It's really a really good point to say that there's a lot of dirty business going on in crypto, as there is in traditional markets. It's finance. I think I was talking to someone, and I was talking to them. It was during the World Tour, actually, and I asked a lot of people a very simple question. I asked, guys, what do you like the Data Dash channel? Like, I'm like, you understand, like, for example, in this live stream right now, it's not top-notch production quality. I'm quite young and everything. Like, you guys know that I'm just one person. I'm no Einstein. Why do you guys really like my channel? And they said, I think around like 3 out of 5 people answered something along the lines of, it's the fact that you bring a decent amount of information and a decent perspective, but you have a sense of integrity to you. And I was really thankful that people noticed that, because that is who I am. Like, I don't really care so much to come off as smart or sell you some major course, or, just, I don't know. Making money's nice, guys, but I care more than anything to see this space grow. And when I got to meet people on the World Tour, oh man, that was a gem. I can't wait to go do another World Tour and visit the global community behind crypto. It's gotten a little bit smaller, I can assume, from probably January and February, but I can tell by the views right now that you guys are still out there, and I appreciate that. And again, I don't want to talk trash about Ian, guys. Just letting you know, someone asked me about what I think about him. Someone compared me to him, I think. Carrie O'Connor, thanks for all your hard work. No, Carrie, no problem. Let's see. Thoughts on Walton Chain. Sean, yes, they and VeChain and a lot of these other supply chain logistics projects are building nice foundations and they're building partnerships. I'm just curious, I have been on the fence as to whether or not companies in the supply chain space who really dominate are simply just going to build a permissioned distributed ledger technology where they would be able to cooperate together. Again, I'm not trying to say that you Walton Chain and all these things won't be valuable, but I'm curious if the larger companies, the real target market that these blockchain projects are going for, would simply just build permission private blockchains, which is why I've been on the fence about the kind of corporate side of blockchain. And more be looking for protocols that could use this technology on top of them, rather than an entirely new one for just for specifically supply chain logistics. Ooh, Ethereum. This is what I worried about here, guys. This is gonna be a pretty bloody picture. I don't know for how long, but my whole next target for Ethereum has been if it broke out of the wedge, it's gonna probably come back down to these lows. But I don't think it would happen overnight. But yikes! Let's see what the USD is looking like. Yeah, I could see it revisiting around 200 back here to this level. Might have to touch that. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Let's catch up here on the big player itself. Bitcoin actually might have just crossed to the... Oh, we're right on the 100-day here. Looks like we're getting some crazy volume coming through here. This is really interesting. Yeah, we crossed through 69.50. That was where we were getting the bounce every time, but... Getting some scrappers coming down here, buying in at these levels around 100, the 100-day moving average. Again, not going to really change my opinion until we cross that, but if we do, then... let's see here. Let's check out some of these. Ooh, XMR. Yikes. Needed to hold on that 100-day, but next level for that would be the 50-day. Let's see here. CJ James, I know what Holochain does to a decent degree. I understand the agent-centric approach, and I like it. I see there's been a lot of hype recently for it. I think it's just might be market makers or something tossing around. I just don't see how all of a sudden it got a lot of attention. Tony Hoke, I don't hate XRP and I don't love it. I think it's going to exist. I'm just curious. Outside of I know the fact that you get some benefits using the XRP token on one or two of Ripple's products, I don't get where the value comes outside of that, but I think people are still going to use fiat, other currencies that they generate or tokens on Ripple's technology. Marissa's, very nice afternoon to you as well. Let's see here. No, Rich, I haven't looked into that. I love Nuggets. He's a great guy. All the Aussie YouTubers are my favorite. So I'm going to have to check into that video. 5 Eyes, the latest RT report about Australia banning encryption. I don't know how you can ban encryption, but okay. Let's see here. Oh, we talked about the Amplify ICO. I think it's justifiable if you're launching a massive exchange with the costs that you have to incur. It's understandable that they're doing an ICO. If you were new to investing, which crypto would you say has the potential to make the most? Regular Joe, that's a very... I would hate to get caught in the sense of... trying to show you something. I'd say that again, there's not one coin you want to put everything into, and especially not the one that you expect to make the most, because that one coin, if you put it into all your money into it, it might be the coin you're most confident about. It is most likely that there will not only be other projects that outpace it, even if you had 100 people tell you this project is going to be the one, but along with that as well, it is not safe to put all your eggs in one basket. So I'd say watch some of my portfolio videos to kind of get an understanding on how to build a nice portfolio. I do like a few different projects. I'll give you a hint. It's peer-to-peer digital currencies, the ones that are pure currency plays. That's my favorite. Let's see here. Yeah, Dodgy Guy, I have to say, supply chain tokens seem like they've actually, at least, they're going after a real blockchain use case. I'll give it that. Alex, thank you very much. I hope I answered your question on product 3 just a minute ago with Amplify. Appreciate the nice compliment. Glad I could answer your question, Sean. Steven says, Nana looking tasty right now with the heart eye emoji. Let's see here. Marissa says, curious on your thoughts of this news quote. Fed coin will kill Bitcoin. USA will issue cryptocurrency. So the USA is only going to issue a digital cryptocurrency, which is, again, what the I know what you're talking about. You're resorting to a 2015 proposal in the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, about building a central bank cryptocurrency. And the likelihood of this happening is minimal. It's if we have a currency crisis. But I believe you're going to see a currency crisis. But it's not going to happen for a while, at least in the U.S. You're going to have the emerging markets get hit, and if that continues to get worse and we get larger nations hit, maybe, for example, the euro, the Eurozone collapses, and then the euro's value goes to practically nothing. You have a crash there. And, you know, if we get the dominoes really rolling, then the U.S. would be hit. And then you have to consider something like a Fed coin. But there's no official confirmation on the Fed coin. And along with that, I think at that point, people are going to realize, wait a minute, we don't want a central bank cryptocurrency. Even if they make it illegal to use any other thing, they'd be like, no. Like, you can see it in Venezuela. Like, people are looking for ways to use crypto as much as they can because they know they don't want to use anything that's centrally controlled. And they can't swap to the dollar or other stable reserve currencies across the world because there's capital controls. It's a fancy term for pretty much restrictions in regards to swapping currencies. So I hope that helps you, Marissa, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but it's a good question. I've talked about that in the past. There's a possibility you could get central bank cryptocurrencies, but they're not going to be cryptocurrencies. They're going to be centrally controlled. You can print more of them. They can censor transactions, etc. That's going to be what the central bank cryptocurrency would be. I trade crypto. I like your point here, and this is what I keep drilling to people. You know, there is a chance of 4,000 or 5,000, but I love this quote. The biggest mistake every newcomer in crypto has been making is not looking at the macro view, the big picture view. Everything about the 6K price, everything above the 6K price point is and currently is in a profit zone. Whales are slowly cashing out up here. So this is something I want to bring up, guys, is that, again, the OTC market is still heavily buyers on the institutions. So usually I recommend that you guys listen to what the institutions are doing, analyze it, and make a decision for yourself. But the institutions are usually what you want to follow, and there are way more buyers than sellers at these levels at 6K. And it's like every time it hits 6,000, everyone on the kind of general kind of retail side is talking about getting on BitMEX, shorting it to 5 or 4K. What I hear in the OTC markets and what I hear on the larger scale of things, again, I don't have any access to specific information, but I can tell you that the tone gets amplified through the market, and you can hear that the institutions are buying. So it's a wide range of institutions, some of them family funds, hedge funds, all kinds of crazy people. They're not crazy people. I think they're clever for buying a 6K, but just what I mean by that is it's a wide range of people in the financial sector. It's not one group. Danichip. I can't talk on Pivx. I haven't kept up with the project as of recent, but I think Monero more than anything is more of a safe bet in the long term, in my opinion. Again, you got to assess. I think Pivx during a bull run might get maybe some more percentage gains, but it doesn't have as much liquidity and people trading in as big of a community. Monero is well formed for the long term. Alrighty. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I got to scroll through. We got a donation from Rich. Thank you very much, Rich. We need to take a break from price and focus on revolutionary aspects of Bitcoin before it's too late. Privacy and ownership of private keys. Rich, I agree with that. We need to have more privacy features on Bitcoin. I was talking about that with Charlie Lee, and I want to spend some more time to actually catch up on some of the really cool updates coming to some of these cryptocurrencies. But yeah, privacy is going to have to be a standard feature, at least the fact of giving optional, making it optional in privacy, because I can tell you all, like, to give you a very simple explanation as to why privacy on a cryptocurrency is important. Do you allow your bank account statement to get publicly released to the entire world if someone has sent money to you before? No? Well, I can tell you I wouldn't want the same on my bank account, and that's the same with crypto. But if you know someone's address and they do transactions in that wallet address in and out, you can see the business. If you're a business out there and I spend money at a company, I can see the transactions from their address. So it's something you have to factor in. Privacy is going to have to be essential, and giving out optional access to private information is what's going to be the standard, I think. For example, like you give people a view key in a sense, kind of like in regards to how ring signatures work and how Monero operates. Tyler Woods, I appreciate your thoughts on Litecoin being used as a peer-to-peer undercarriage Bitcoin in the Lightning Network. I'd appreciate your thoughts on Litecoin being used as a peer-to-peer undercarriage to Bitcoin in the Lightning Network, making these two the main players here. We talked about this, Tyler, and I appreciate your donation, but it's a good question. This is what Charlie tweeted about, and I think it makes decent sense. But at the same time, if Bitcoin's going, I don't know, if Litecoin in that operation, if you're saying Litecoin is going to be used over, say, like the Lightning Network as a payment solution, I'm kind of confused at it. Like, I get it to a decent degree, maybe, because Litecoin can do faster transactions. But to be fair, I really think if you're going to be accessing Lightning Network, you could just use Bitcoin. But I think more than anything that Litecoin still is better for payments, for convenience sake, and it's still safe enough. So I don't know. I'll have to maybe do a deeper dive on that in a video. I'll be fair. I've still been a little bit stuck on the comparison. I kind of got what Charlie was going for. Someone said the 100-day has been broken. Let's check about that right now, guys. Where's the 100-day here? We haven't broken it just yet. We'll see if we can break it. It's literally riding right on top of it, but we'll see what happens here over the next few minutes, guys. Jenny, I appreciate your compliment, and yeah, that's kind of how I feel about him personally. Ferris Alcacid, I pay to see Coin Mastery, DD, the Traveling Crypto. Yeah, Coin Mastery is awesome. Traveling Crypto, I've heard of the name, but I haven't checked out the channel. But I'll have to give that channel a check. Thank you very much, Ferris. Oscar, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Junie, what are people not realizing? Litecoin is Control-C, Control-V of Bitcoin. Litecoin is just a testbed for Bitcoin. This is sort of true, Jenny. Like, I didn't want to, again, I don't mean to have someone, especially we had Charlie Lee on. It was really nice to have him on. Sadly, we didn't get to talk much afterwards. He was kind of in a rush, and I'll be fair, I don't think the interview was the best. I think we could have done much better. But he was, again, in a rush to get somewhere, so I kind of understand. But that's the thing about Litecoin. Litecoin has a few variable changes from Bitcoin. It uses a different scripting, it uses script instead of SHA-256. It has a slightly larger block size. Larger block size, a faster block time. So they're pretty much equivalently producing about 4 times the transactions at any given period to Bitcoin. And what's the third feature? It's the difference in supply. Like, those are the major 3 things that I know about Litecoin being different from Bitcoin. Outside of that, can't think of much major differences. So, Gene, I think you make up a great point, and it's a big point to talk about in regards to a lot of these even the cryptocurrencies. I want to just talk about the ICOs, but the cryptocurrencies, so many of them are forks off of Bitcoin, or Bitcoin or Peercoin if they're proof of stake. And most of them have tethered out. They're not worth anything. People get it, but there's some out there that are still worth a decent amount at market valuation and are purely speculative plays just being tossed around. So I try to stick to more of the larger established peer-to-peer digital currencies, even though I know we all want the 100x or the 1000x cryptocurrency. Let's see here. Little Forest Lamb, formed in 2018, that excites you? No, I don't know of too many. I talked to a small team of guys. I'm trying to think of the name right now. I think it was like Tunnel Money, and I met them in Boston, and they're doing a peer-to-peer digital currency. And again, I as much as I want to build my own one day, guys, I want to self-fund it. Don't want to do an ICO. As much as I want to build my own, I love seeing other people building peer-to-peer digital currencies and taking different approaches. And it was cool to see a new project coming up that wasn't so much some kind of security token or utility token. It was nice to see something that wasn't a full-on ICO. But outside of that, not many new form projects, but Nano has made a crazy rebound in development as of recent. Ever since the December rally, the developers have kind of gotten excited again, and they've been adding a lot new commits to GitHub, and there's been a lot of updates and a lot more actual adoption, and they've been doing programs in Venezuela. So I like Nano more than anything. I think that's one of the lower ones, but thank you very much, Jesse. Right back at you. George Gilto, my credit chain ICO, can you please take a look? George, I will definitely try to take a look if I get the chance. I appreciate the donation. I haven't heard about my credit chain, but I've been sticking clear of most ICOs. I'd just say to be cautious in that regard if you're interested, but I'll try to definitely take a look into it. Let me see if I got my little notepad here, my credit chain. Alrighty. Let's see here. Jerome, my podcast channel, it's here on YouTube. I've only got one episode up yet. I'm going to try to get it on iTunes and all the things that you guys love, but I've just got to figure out how to set that up. I've never really done an official podcast. I've got a few friends and family who can help me out with it, so they're going to help me out eventually once we get the second or third episode up. All right, we're going to probably wrap the stream up here in just a few moments, guys. I'll take a few more questions, but before we dive into those questions, I want to make it clear you guys can always type in !Discord, hop in the Discord, chat it up with the community, join the voice chat if you'd like, and just keep on talking after the stream. But I'm going to go ahead and answer two quick questions here. Again, !Discord if you guys would like to get a link to the server. And I'll go ahead and copy one as well real quick, just to grab one off before we sign off. I won't be able to attend Discord, guys. I got to go out for the rest of the day, but I might hop in the Discord later on tonight. Alrighty, so let's go ahead here. I'll get you guys an invite to the voice channel. Cool, we already got a few people hopping in here. Let's go ahead and get an instant invite. Alright, I'll go ahead and copy that in there for you guys. If the link doesn't work for you to the Discord, it should work, but I'll go ahead and put that in there for you just in case. So let's go ahead and answer a few more questions here. I'll do about 2 or 3 more. Ben Dixon, hey Nick from England. Hey Ben, how you doing? Have you considered starting a data dash fund on economy? No, I've thought, people have mentioned that idea before, and I would like to, but I haven't caught up with economy in a long time. If they're still operating, I definitely like to just kind of catch up on them. But I definitely consider doing something like that, because many people just want to do copy trading, or they want to know what I really like in the long term. It'd be a lot of peer-to-peer digital currencies, probably. Few protocols, but mostly peer-to-peer digital currencies. Let's see here. Still morning here in Los Angeles. What's going on, Dave? What happens if we break the 100-day? Very likely that we come back down to 6,000. So that would be a $900 drop, but we will see if that happens, guys, because I'll be fair, I think this is a little bit dramatic of a reaction in the market. Well, but again, you know, if it breaks the 100-day quite steadily, it comes down to around like 6,800. Yeah, I'm gonna bet towards 6,000. But let's see. In all caps, cryptocurrencies are gonna die out. Get out while you can. Bitcoin will go to 3K. Tone says it. Look, I like Tone but I wouldn't just go off of what Tone calls. Same as how I wouldn't go off of what I just say on Livestream, guys. Smart guy, but Tone has been wrong on certain things, just like everyone has. So he's not a foolproof model to follow. Klaus, we talked a decent amount about Substratum today. If you had any questions, you can go back to the stream, and we talked about like product 3 and also my infamous pass with Substratum. Let's see. Thank you very much, Ben. Same back to you. Paul Lindsay, Bitcoin dominance about 55%. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and here and take a look at that. Bitcoin dominance. Oh, yep, we ticked above higher than where we were before. This is due to Ethereum really taking a hit here over the past few minutes. That's incredible. Let's take it to the 1 day. Can we get a little bit of... See, it's kind of hard to get a clear picture on market dominance because it's stacked. Maybe we can do the opposite of overlapping. Let's get... Oh, wait, no. Sorry, overlapping. My bad. Oh, I guess it is overlapped. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go ahead and take it here to the longer term picture. There we go. This gives us a good picture here. Yeah, I still see in the longer term, guys, Bitcoin is going to deplete, but it's mostly the fact that I think you're going to see Ethereum continue to depreciate because it broke a very, very big technical pattern, guys. It's very upsetting to see for Ethereum longs, but can't lie about it. Tony Corona, this will be the second to last question I answer. What other YouTubers do you follow? I follow a lot of great YouTubers out there. In fact, I've met many of them. I love, for example, if you're looking for new projects, if you guys want to dabble in the ICO space, the best person, the most trustworthy person I can say is Blockchain Brad. Love Brad to death. One of my favorite YouTubers. As I've mentioned, I love the Australian YouTubers. My Aussie boys are awesome. But outside of that, in all fundamentals, Brad is one of the most down-to-earth guys. I've had multi-hour long conversations with him. He's a guy you can trust with reviews and interviews. Outside of that, I would say, like Box Mining, when he does upload, I like Coin Mastery. I also love Crypto Daily. But for real, like... kind of like trading, it's weird. I don't follow many of the crypto traders on YouTube. There's a few of them out there. I don't actively trade as much. That's probably why. But I still watch a few people in traditional markets who trade. So maybe I'll do a video talking about my favorite YouTubers and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to be rude to anyone and not include anyone, but I'll be sure to do that in the future. Let's see here. Hey, new kids on the blockchain. Nice to have you, man. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I actually can't wait to see the documentary you're putting together. I don't know if you put that out yet, but everything's going well. Just been keeping up with generally what's going on in crypto. A little bit of a crazy day, but outside of that, everything's been going smooth. Hope your travels have been well. Hope the documentary's been going well as well. All right, I'll end this off. This is a good question. When did I start trading? It was about 7 years ago, and I had opened up a joint brokerage account with my dad. That was you had to do it at the time and stuff. So I decided to open up a joint brokerage account, and from there I had my two first trades. My two first stocks I bought. I had $900. He gave me $900 to invest in the market, and he said you have to keep this in investments. I was like, I don't want to do anything else with it, so he didn't have a hard time convincing me. But I put $450 in a Chinese solar company, JA Solar, which I made 30% on in 1 month. Really good trade for my first, one of my first real trades. And my other one was my first learning lesson in stocks, and that is to not invest in penny stocks. And I bought a medical marijuana, I think it was Medical Marijuana Incorporated stock. So MJNA, that's what it was. But yeah, that's been rallying quite nicely. I think like most pot stocks have, as a reason with all the positive legislation in Canada. But yeah, I learned not to invest in penny stocks, but I was always someone, again, you can tell from there, I was big on emerging markets, emerging tech, trying to spot things really before they hit the market, and trying to hopefully benefit from trading on them and investing. Some of my trades were more long-term, more towards investments, but I always liked swing trading. That was always my favorite style. And I invested in a lot of I invested in companies like Canadian Solar, a lot of solar companies. I invested in semiconductors. Nvidia has killed it as of recent, but I'm glad I moved from those investments to crypto. Did much better in crypto. and other emerging markets as well, just all types of new technology. I dabbled a little bit trading 3D printing stocks, but knew that market wasn't going to go off for a while. But I learned from a lot of YouTubers. I read a decent amount of books, watched a lot of videos and documentaries, understanding more than anything human psychology and emotion. That is important to understand when you're trading markets, because there can be a lot of emotion in markets, but you want to trade off of fundamentals and strategy. So I hope I left you off with a good little answer there, guys. Again, if you're just getting into trading or investing in cryptocurrencies, if you're getting involved in crypto in either way, if you like the fundamental tech and you want to spread the word, be a part of the Data Dash community, guys. We love people like that who are really passionate about cryptocurrencies. And I know I fit into both camps. I love trading and investing, but I really, more than anything, love this tech and seeing where we can take peer-to-peer digital currency and cryptocurrencies in general into the future. So really excited about that. I want you guys to hop in the Discord if you get the chance. Again, !Discord. I'll drop you all a link one more time if you want some people to listen to as I'm done rambling here today for the live stream. Glad you all can join me this afternoon or wherever you're at, watching it possibly later. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Take care and have a great rest of the day.